Have you ever dreamt of starting your own business, but then you look at your bank balance and just feel completely paralyzed? Well, you are definitely not alone. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a blueprint that completely flips traditional business advice on its head. The big secret? You literally do not need capital to launch a successful venture today. Let's get right into it. Look, we hear it all the time, right? Oh, I would start a business if I had money. I really need investors first. It is the classic excuse. And honestly, it's a belief that keeps so many brilliant ideas locked away forever. But here's the thing. In today's digital economy, that mindset isn't just outdated, it's completely false. Just think about the old school way of doing things. It was terrifyingly risky. You'd go beg a bank for a loan, rent some expensive physical shop, load up on boxes of inventory, and then basically cross your fingers and hope people actually walk through the door. But the new model, it's entirely different. It's lean. You identify a problem, validate that people care, sell the solution first, and only then do actually build it. If we strip it down and redefine what a business actually is at its core, it boils down to just three things: a problem, a solution, and customers. Do you notice what's totally missing from that equation? Capital. Money. Because if you don't have a real problem to solve and people willing to pay you to solve it, honestly, $1 million in the bank won't save you. Okay, so to put this into practice, we're going to quickly walk through 5 key concepts today. First, the great capital myth. Second, finding problems worth solving. Third, validating before you build. Fourth, launching with zero budget. And finally, growing through customer profits. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the great capital myth, and what actually matters when you're starting out. Because, spoiler alert, a lack of money isn't what's holding you back. So if a giant bank account isn't your main asset, what on earth is? Well, today, your true assets are actually your skills, your knowledge, your relationships, and your ability to command attention. I mean, think about it. Leveraging a personal skill, say graphic design, or just sharing specialized knowledge online can generate a steady income way faster and way safer than sitting around waiting for investor funding. Moving on to Section 2, find problems worth solving. This is all about becoming a problem detective. Every single successful venture out there has one thing in common: it solves a problem. So start asking yourself, what frustrates people daily? You've got to train yourself to notice those little complaints, the massive lines, terrible delivery services, or maybe even just a student struggling with their math homework. People rarely pull out their wallets for a nice-to-have product, but they will absolutely pay to make their urgent frustrations disappear. Now, to find your specific golden opportunity, try using what we call the 3-circle method. Think of it like a giant Venn diagram. Your perfect business idea sits right smack in the middle of what you already know, what people desperately need, and what they're actually willing to pay for. For instance, our sources talk about a university student who noticed his classmates were failing statistics. He used his existing knowledge, he met that urgent need, and he charged them for WhatsApp tutorials. He hit that intersection perfectly. All right, Section 3. Validate before you build. Basically, test first, spend later. This is absolutely crucial to make sure you don't burn months building something nobody wants. Validation is your ultimate risk reducer. Let's look at a quick comparison. A full product might be a custom-coded food delivery app, right? That takes months and costs thousands of dollars to develop. But a minimum viable product, an MVP, is literally just you taking food orders via a simple WhatsApp message. An MVP is not supposed to be perfect. It's just a raw test version designed purely to prove demand instantly, without spending a single dime on tech. So how do we do this? The lean validation sequence works in 4 chronological steps. First, define a highly specific customer, just one type of person. Step 2, interview them. And I mean really listen to their challenges. Don't pitch them anything yet. Step 3, test the demand. Maybe throw a post up on social media. And finally, step 4, the absolute holy grail: pre-selling. Look, when people actually pull out their credit cards to pay you before the product is even finished, that is undeniable proof that your idea works. Which brings us to Section 4, launch with zero budget. We're talking about the brilliant, slightly counterintuitive magic of selling an idea before you even build it. You absolutely, positively do not need a fancy office or expensive software to start. Just look at the free digital toolkit we all have access to now. You've got WhatsApp Business for managing customers, Canva for creating a professional brand, Google Workspace for all your docs and collaboration, and social media platforms for free marketing. These tools completely wipe out the need for pricey designers or specialized enterprise software. Honestly, your phone is your storefront now. There's this incredibly inspiring story from our sources about a baker in Lagos. She really wanted to start a cake business, but had zero chance of affording rent for a bakery. So what did she do? She set up a WhatsApp business account, posted mouthwatering pictures, and took orders right there. The kicker? She only bought the ingredients after the customer paid her upfront. She built a highly profitable business using literally nothing but her phone. Okay, final stretch. Section 5, grow through customer profits. Let's talk about the bootstrapping mindset and how to scale safely without drowning in bank loans. We need to make a super important distinction here. Revenue is just the total money coming in. But profit is what actually remains after you pay your expenses. It sounds like basic math, right? But you'd be shocked how many businesses crash and burn because they chase rapid, unprofitable growth. They boast about high revenue, but they're swimming in massive debt. It's a huge trap, trying to look wildly successful while secretly bleeding cash behind the scenes. As this quote says, growth is not about how fast you expand. It is about how sustainably you grow. The whole idea of bootstrapping is championing patience. You take those early, hard-earned profits and carefully reinvest them right back into the business step by step. Maybe you buy slightly better equipment or run a few targeted ads. The goal is to let your customers fund your growth, not a bank. Of course, all these tactical money moves rely completely on your mental engine. The entrepreneurial mindset means you have to embrace failure as just feedback. It's just data. It's about staying disciplined on the days when that initial motivation wears off, committing to learning constantly, and taking consistent action. That kind of mental resilience, that is the true engine of a business that actually lasts. And please remember, done is often better than perfect. Seriously, perfectionism is the ultimate trap for beginners. Do not sit around waiting for the right time or obsessing for weeks over a flawless logo. Launch your minimum viable product imperfectly. Just get it out there, gather real-world feedback, and adopt on the fly. So I'll leave you with this. What problem are you going to solve today? The responsibility is entirely in your hands now. You don't need a massive bank account. You don't need a room full of venture capitalists. You just need to be resourceful, keep your eyes open for the frustrations happening all around you, and take that very first step. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.